Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review for My Hero Academia Season 6, Episode 21. I just did this reaction this morning, and I really do actually need to do more reactions, but I'm actually waiting to see if I'm going to get my lunch, and if I have to wait a little bit, then I'm actually do some recordings while I wait. But at the moment, I might as well go on ahead and get these uploaded. Anyway, this is the fight between Deku and Lady Nagant, and we actually get her backstory on this and what caused her to end up in Tartarus in the first place. And we also find out that yes, we already kind of knew this anyway, because, I mean, this kind of society, there had to be gray areas, because this world obviously isn't squeaky clean, because we've all seen that people have fallen through the cracks on this thing. Because, I mean, most of the villains that we've seen in the League of Villains are people that have fallen through the cracks or have not been able to... People have essentially been missed or tossed aside because of being an outcast or, you know, mental health issues with their appearance or whatever. And we all know, essentially, that the Hero Society is not perfect. We all know that. And, yeah, I wasn't expecting the Safety Commission to be a secret group of assassins, essentially. Because that is essentially what they are. And we find out that when Lady Nagant had signed up with them, I'm guessing like fresh out of being at a UA, she wanted to obviously, you know, be able to do good like everybody else. But the thing is that the things she was hired to do were very, shady. And, like, morally gray, essentially. Like, taking out a group of terrorists that were planning to, I don't know, attack a city or something like that. And the thing is, one of the things she had to do was, in one of the flashbacks, it was shown she was shooting somebody, and they were, you know, obviously begging for their life, and they were saying that we haven't done anything, we were just planning, and that's when she shoots them. And I'm like, was there not an option to maybe take them in and interrogate them and maybe put them in jail? Was there not an option to do that instead of just killing them? Seriously? Was there not an option to do that? Really? God damn it.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Dang it guys, sorry about that. My stupid, I went to click and exit off of the notification I had up, but apparently I didn't hit the X button. Apparently I clicked on the video. Ignore that, please. But yeah, I do watch, if you recognize the video, it was Charlotte Dilbright. I do actually watch her content. It's funny. It's awesome. And I get a kick out of it. I enjoy watching that stuff. Anyway, but yeah, if that was actually the case, that was the situation she was in, why couldn't they have just taken the group essentially surrounded the place, taken the group hostage, interrogated them for all the information they needed, and put them in jail once they determined what they were planning, and stopped it? Why couldn't they have just done that? Did they have to really kill them? Or were they already in the stage of already having attacked people? If they were, then what the guy said made no sense, as to already only being in the planning stage. Because somebody kind of fill me in on that one. But yeah, apparently they were essentially involved in shady stuff. Like a morally gray, whether it was right or wrong or not. And she started to essentially become like, am I really doing the right thing here? And she realized that no matter what she did, she had blood on her hands because of this. And she started to essentially resent what she was doing, despite wanting to be able to do good, and she decided to take out the root cause of all this, at least at the moment, which was the one in charge of the Safety Commission at the time. And that's what essentially got her sent to Tartarus, but according to the public, she was sent to Tartarus because she killed some heroes, which is not the case. She killed the previous head of the Safety Commission. Because she was having her do things that she didn't agree with. And All For One is obviously taking advantage of this. And obviously, yes, I know that things are morally gray in this society. And I think Deku already kind of knew this, but he's confirming it that he knew this in this episode. But I don't know if he actually did know this completely. I'm assuming he did, considering some of the villains he's gone up against. I mean, Overhaul, for one, is definitely a morally gray one. He wants what he was wanting and how he was trying to achieve it were... I mean, what he was wanting was still not kind of good, but at the same time... give me your guys' opinion on all this, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys say in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Even if you disagree with me, I'd love to hear it. Because I'd love to hear other opinions about it. You guys might give me a perspective I might not have thought of. Anyway, he's trying to figure out how to take her down, obviously without killing her, because he doesn't like killing people, and I think he's going to have to get to the point where he's probably going to have to kill All For One. Because you can't let that psychopath win. You can't let the psychopath live, because as long as he's alive, you're not going to be able to stop. You're not going to be able to have a world that's at, obviously, complete peace, because there's no real complete peace in this world, but you're not going to be able to keep the world at a somewhat peace as long as this guy is out and about or even alive, because he will try and escape and he will keep trying to do what he's going to do. So yeah, he's probably going to have to kill All For One at this point, at some point. So he will have to get his hands bloody at some point. But for the moment, he's still going to try and obviously save her. And we actually do get to see one of the other two quirks in action, which at first I thought he was going to be using gear shift to, slow down, the trajectory of her bullets, or speed himself up to get past her bullets. But obviously, since he hasn't been able to use those quirks yet or practice with them yet, he's obviously not going to be able to do very much with them. But he doesn't use that one. He ends up using the other one, which was Fa-Jin. And I was like, okay, because I had never seen... didn't know what the use of Fa-Jin was. I knew somewhat of what Gear Shift did. If you guys want to explain the two quirks to me, I'd love to hear it, because... I'm kind of at a loss. I kind of understand it, yet kind of don't at the same time. But yeah, he's able to use Fa-Jin very... not easily, but a lot quicker than I thought, considering he's never used it before. He just unlocked it. And I thought that if he was just going to try and use it now, I figured he was going to be breaking bones or something the first time he was using it. Because, I mean, he kind of didn't... He didn't deal with Black Whip or Float. He did lose control of Black Whip, but that was because it popped out of nowhere. And he didn't lose the control of Float because he had already been trying to practice with it, but Smokescreen and Danger Sense kind of gave him a headache. And Smokescreen, he already kind of got an idea of it, but those two are going to be a lot tougher to do because that involves parallel processing. That involves doing multiple things at once. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot harder for him to do. But he apparently gets the hang of it pretty darn quick, which means he's a quick study, which is a good thing. Because he's grown a lot from back in Season 1 where he was breaking his bones from just trying to use a quick burst to One for All. I almost keep saying All for One. What am I saying? Well, at least we know that theory of Deku originally having a quirk but having it stolen from by All for One is debunked because we have that information about him having to be quirkless in order to be able to use One for All easily. Is on the table now. So he originally was quirkless. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it gets to the point where he does end up getting injured a few times while fighting her, and she ends up trying to essentially get him to make a quick decision to save Chisaki because he is on the roof still, and she acts like she's going to shoot him, and she expects him to probably jump in and protect him and probably take the hit in the same time, making him slower, and like I said, take the hit, which is what I thought was going to happen. But no, he's able to use Fa-Jin in the process, and end up faster than a speeding bullet, and get Chisaki out of the way, and still use Fa-Jin and Black Whip, in combination, to Manchester smash her at 100% somehow, without breaking his bones. How is he doing that without breaking his bones? I don't know. Wow, with the gauntlets, because he can't really use those at 100% really well without risking breaking those. And kicked her butt in the process while breaking the rifle part of her. But what I wasn't expecting was her blowing up. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because I saw her cracking. I was like, what is going on? And then I realized when it was showing All for One that he must have done something when he gave her that quirk. That he put a bomb in her so that way if she lost, she couldn't betray him, essentially. And yeah, she blew up. Thankfully, though, Hawks flew in somehow with those teeny tiny itty bitty little stumps of wings. I don't get how he was able to do that with those. I don't even think those were really wings. Those were stumps of wings. I don't even know if he's going to even be able to grow those back at this point, to be honest with you. And if he can't, then how is he going to even be a hero? Because his quirk is Gale Wings, which means he has to be able to use the feathers on his wings. Which means, what's he even going to be able to do without the feathers? Sure, he's still trying to do stuff, but what's he going to be able to do if those don't grow back? You know? But yeah, Hawks and Endeavor show up at this point, because Endeavor can't really do much in the rain. And Endeavor goes to get Chisaki, and even though Hawks is kind of having a hard time getting her down safely, and Deku grabs him with Black Whip, and they manage to thankfully land somewhat safely, and Lady Nagant is able to give them information that she was supposed to bring Deku to a mansion in a certain forest, in 2 months, and apparently a few other people were given those same orders as her, so there are a few other people out there that are after Deku. Oh, and actually, now that I realize this, I forgot to mention this, I love how in the beginning, there were a couple people that were about to attack All Might, and I was like, oh crap, what is he going to do? Because he can't fight at this point, because he doesn't have One For All anymore. And it was by sheer intimidation that he was able to get those guys to back off. I was like, wow! I guess even being the former symbol of peace, is intimidating people. Even when you can't physically fight, you still were able to intimidate them. But they was probably grunts, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is now that Deku knows that there's going to be others after him, he's probably going to be getting a little bit more on edge. Which means he more than likely will not be sleeping. Because, I mean, if you think you're going to be attacked at any point, are you really going to be sleeping? Not really. Then again, he's got danger sense, so I mean... Well, then again, danger sense didn't really warn him when the first shot from the Nagant, so unless they're trying to... Well, then again, if it's something that's trying to physically harm him, even if I don't think it's planning to kill him, I think... Actually, yeah, he probably isn't going to be sleeping, more than likely. Unless All Might can somehow drag him back with him wherever they're staying, because I'm assuming they're staying somewhere other than UA, and get him to sleep, then he's more than likely not going to be resting. And that is not good, because like I said, if you want to be in your peak form, if you want to be at peak performance in order to face All For One, you are going to need to be well rested, well fed, and your wounds need to be healed, or at the very least, mostly healed. And as we all know, he is not going to be doing that. He is going to be putting himself in jeopardy in order to be able to save others. We've seen him do that many times. And somebody needs to knock him the freak out in order to be able to get him to rest. That's the only way they're going to be able to get him to rest. And this is going to put him in worse and worse shape. Which means it's going to be harder for him to fight, which means it's going to be easier for the other enemies to get him. How does Deku not realize this? Anyway, I want to hear what y'all have to say about this. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.